What is going on, you guys? It's your boy ColtsTalk. We're back with another video, and my goodness, what a chaotic day it has been for Colts fans. The Indianapolis Colts, if I'm reading this right, the Indianapolis Colts just benched Anthony Richardson. Now, there's been mixed feelings about this. A lot of fans before this everything happened, even before last week, before the Houston Texans game, they wanted Richardson benched. Well, their wish was granted. On the other side of the retrospect, the Indianapolis Colts benching Anthony Richardson, there's a lot of fans enraged about this situation. Why? I'm going to give you my thoughts. What I think about this situation is that you knew this guy going into this season, we're going into his rookie year. You knew how much of a raw prospect he was going into the year, like his career. You knew how raw he was. He has a high ceiling. His floor is very low. Now, me saying that, you had a chance to move up in the draft. Maybe you was going to give away a lot of assets, but that's the price you pay. That's the price you pay for moving up, and this is the price you pay for drafting raw talent in Anthony Richardson. The arm strength is there. The mobility is there. But him processing the game, understanding the game, NFL speed, NFL ready, all of those things are what worries you when you draft this guy. Now, of course, they knew that and they still went out there and go to get him in the draft. And of course, they went out in the media after drafting him. They said if he was there later on in the draft, he still would have been our number one pick. He was our guy. They had him first on the list on QB availability in drafting, which is insane. Because I think anybody with two eyes would have drafted CJ Stroud. And you see how he's performing, and you even seen it in college. My thought is Anthony Richardson was not ready. We all knew this. And they came out and said that the only way Richardson's going to develop is through game time. So they knew the situation at hand before it happened. Now, through his performances and how rough he's been playing, and even last week's situation where he took himself out of a play, they sit him down. And this is insane because if this would have been the case and you knew, you would have just not had him play at all. You would have had the QB carousel continue, and you would have just let him develop on the sideline without him even seeing the field. But the fact that you let him see the field and you realize how rough it is and you still have a shot at making the playoffs, you bench him going into week 9. I think that's kind of insane. And before this season, he's been banged up with injuries, so he really hasn't played. So he's still a rookie in our eyes. Like, he's still a rookie. He hasn't played a full year yet. So the fact that you let him develop through game time and he struggled, you seen Joe Flacco on the field, you see how good he's been playing. So now going into week 9, you bench him. You still have a shot at the playoffs, but it's a 50-50 shot. It's not a clear shot. But this is Joe Flacco's performance. He's been playing very well, so you're going to let him play. I understand. I get it. But like I said, the opportunity is full. I think what you did to Richardson's mind state is kind of wild. I don't think he's going to ever recover from this. Of course, the per sources, they said he's devastated after the news, as he should be. He's 22 years old, man. He's a young guy. He's still figuring it out. So like I said, I don't think he'll ever recover from this. I don't know how well he'll play um, after this whole situation. Like I said, Flacco is not going to be here long term. This is a rental. So after he's gone, you're going to bring Richardson back in, and then you're going to start from scratch all over again. Of course, he can learn things from the sideline, holding the clipboard, just watching Flacco through his reps and things of that nature. But if Flacco goes down, are you bringing Richardson back in and still going through this scenario? I don't think the Super Bowl was in question this year. Honestly, if anything, playoff experience, maybe a conference championship, or just winning a division in general is the small steps. So taking him out this season, this is an evaluation year. We already knew that going into it. So just letting him sit on the sideline is kind of crazy. I don't know how this is going to look going into next year. My thought process was the future. pretty much. It's how is he going to look in the future? Of course, he's shown positive signs. Honestly, I don't think, like, of course, if people just look at the numbers and things of that nature instead of watching him actually progress through the game, they're going to say he was one of the worst quarterbacks. But I think, you know, a lot of it plays in factor. The coaching, the wide receiver play, the run game, all of these things, the offensive line. They had one of their worst performances, probably if the worst performance last week against the Texans. All of these things play in the role of a developing quarterback. Like I said, he's not a CJ Stroud. He's not even Patrick Mahomes. You know, they knew he was going to be the future, so they let him sit the whole process through behind Alex Smith. Alex Smith was still winning them games, you know, taking them to the playoffs, things of that nature. And then when it was Patrick Mahomes' time, he was polished and ready. So there was a lot of notes they could have, a lot of procedures or ways they could have went about this instead of this late process of benching him and then letting him find out on the sideline. I just feel like, you know, we're just sitting on a box of lies at this point. It's unprofessional. And, you know, it's kind of wild and detrimental to the quarterback that's young and trying to figure it out. So, like I said, they could have they could have approached this process totally different. And the fact that they switched the process this late, I don't think it's going to be beneficial until he's either with a new coaching staff, a new team. But him staying in Indianapolis, I feel like I'm not sure. It's just on the brink at this point. And it's kind of crazy to even think that way. But here we are. I never thought we would be back in the QB carousel position after drafting someone so high. This is the life of a Colts fan. You know, it's crazy to even process the talent that's being wasted on this team just due to the situation we're in. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, I've seen a lot of fans leaving the fan base after this situation, and they have every right to do so. There's a lot of fans that have been here for years, centuries. And to see this process, they've seen greatness. They know what it looks like. Peyton Manning, his rookie year, had one of the worst rookie seasons any rookie has ever had. And then he turned out to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. You just have to be patient. It's insane how patient they want us to be. And then on the flip side, they're the impatient ones. But I digress. You know, it is what it is at the end of the day. But you guys let me know your thoughts about this whole situation, how the coach should have presented it, how the coach going about it, what really happened. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. How are you feeling about this situation? All these things in the comment section. This is Marcus. And until next time, as I am right now, Coach a shot.